Hello everyone. Keep forgetting to turn on this light. I'm super sorry. Okay, so today I am going to be sharing my life story, um, from beginning to end. So it will, so you guys can know a little bit about me, and um, if you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. So here goes. So let's see, where do I start? Well, when I was like really young, my brother and I would follow my brother into trouble. And in turn, because I used to follow him into trouble whenever we were younger, we ended up being, um, I don't know if dismissed is the right word, but just left behind. I want to say forgotten. My mother, my biological mother, basically gave up on us and decided to just let us go. Um, for multiple reasons. First and foremost, I understand my part in the grand scheme of things. I understand that she basically lost everything from her farm to her house, everything. And so she was not only physically exhausted, but mentally and emotionally exhausted and spiritually exhausted. I guess that would be also something. And so I understand why she left us, but it still doesn't make it any easier to this day because I got the chance to hear her side of the story, and she just seems to really hate the world. And even though she says, "Oh, I don't hate the world," well, she does hate every race through religion, except except Christianity. And I don't know. So round six, I got adopted. We used to try to run away before, and yeah. Um, at the age of six, we got adopted by these couple. Apparently, they couldn't have kids, and a problem child because at the time I didn't realize that I was absorbing basically people. I was taking on their emotions and basically incepting it back at people. Incepting you with an emotion is actually a really interesting skill to have. Not only can you project yourself onto someone, but it's like, say, for example, I'm going to give you an example. I'm going to do some energy work here. So I'm going to accept everyone with calmness. You are calm, cool as water. And basically, I project the emotion of being calm and collected, you know. Um, so I didn't realize that, and I used to get in trouble with my mother and my father a lot, my adopted parents. I didn't like them anyway because they would always treat Jesus like he was a god. It's like a very narcissistic family mindset where they had one good child and one bad child, and it bothered the shit out of me. And what they said was that basically my brother was a dummy and I would do everything that he used to say. But honestly, I mean, if I would do everything for him, and I don't know why I started doing that. I think it was after we got thrown into foster care that I started to do this because I remember before we were thrown into foster care, my brother could talk, read, write, do everything, you know. So, so I don't understand how he became, quote unquote, a dummy, you know, unable to write, speak, or do anything. um, with that being said, you know, they separated us and basically treated Jesus like he was some sort of god or king. And it would piss me off. So, yeah, I would act up in school and do just shit to get noticed. And the more I did that, the more they retaliated and the more I retaliated. So it was like a never ending cycle. And honestly, I wanted them to just give me up. Told them flat out, you don't fucking love me, you know, you never have. You treated Jesus like he was some golden child. When in reality, 9 times out of 10, it was him. And I would take the fall for some shit, you know. So, yeah, when I was in their care, they would make me clean the floors and this, you know, stuff for no reason. They would, um, you know, spank me. But when that didn't work, eventually they moved to more aggressive, not, not more aggressive tactics, but more peculiar ways of punishment. Sometimes they'd make me stand up in the rain, and then when it was done raining, they'd make me stand out in the cold, so I'd have to dry out all at night. You know, sometimes they'd make me hold books, and if the pencil was to, they would use a pencil of something, so in case my hands would lower, you know, they could tell, and sometimes they would make me stand on one knee. And sorry, I'm not laughing. I mean, I'm laughing. I'm just, I don't know why I'm laughing. I really don't, because it's like pretty messed up. And I don't know, maybe it's because I don't know. I don't even know why I'm laughing at this because it's not even funny. Maybe it's just my mind's finally cracking. Um, so yeah, there was one time when they would make me swim laps, and the that was the usual punishment, and they'd make me dry out in the rain. And basically, at the time, I didn't realize this, but looking back, I thought my mind was playing a game, and basically, I could like see fairies and stuff, and they would like keep me company and you know, sometimes even help me keep warm. And I now look back and I realize it wasn't a game. I wasn't imagining these creatures. They were real. They were fairies, you know, little folk. Um, so when I was there was one time when I tried to take all this step Depakote and everything that I had and killed myself because the abuse got worse and I just couldn't take it. and I felt really, really, really alone. Surprisingly, I didn't die. I don't understand why I didn't die. Um, at that time, I didn't understand. Excuse me. When there was one instant when I was swimming laps. They made me swim laps for I don't know how long, and I was so exhausted. I could barely get out of the pool. I was like dead weight. I was a sack of potatoes, and I ended up slipping and hitting my chin. And there's a part of me that still wishes they would have just let me drown. I really, really do. Because if I had to go through this bullshit again, I'm not. I don't want to. I don't want to go through the. I don't want to have to go through that again. And I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, regardless of who they may be. Um, when I slipped and hit my chin, I remember seeing my body and floating, and I think I met my sister who was dying off drugs because apparently around that time she overdosed on some drugs. And she was crying, saying that I'm so sorry, as though she was sorry that she had to see this, like to see me suffer, and um, I don't know why, but I wasn't allowed to go to heaven. They said no, it wasn't time yet, and basically woke up in the hospital. Um, there's been several occasions. I'm not going to lie. Like one time, I slipped and fell, and I was bleeding. That's why there's this big scar to this day. I bled. I mean, I bled, and somehow I was like conscious and was saying, um, I was like playing in my own blood. It was super weird. If I was on the recipient end, seeing my child playing in his own blood, I'd be kind of freaked out. I'm not gonna lie, but I didn't. When I when she was carrying me to the hospital, well, not carrying me, but drove me to the hospital. I remember looking up in her eyes, and there was fear. Not really fear for my life, but fear towards me. And I just told her that it's okay. Um, I don't remember what else I said, and then just passed out. So, I want to say let's skip up the timeline a little bit, and at age 14, the doctor parents signed over custody back to TCF, and I really, really hated. Oh, I lied. Let me go back a little bit because they threw me in so many different detention centers. One was more like a living situation, but you were supposed to stay inside. You couldn't even leave the facility. Um, I think according to the reports I read, they released me because there was like no change, and I don't understand. But I don't know. It was just weird. They would throw me in weird places and hopes to correct my behaviors, which I didn't really understand what exactly are correcting. Um, I've been in Devereaux. There's this one I think in like Naples or something. It was very interesting, very very interesting, and then I got thrown back into the foster care system, and I hated every moment of it. When I was 16, I had an out of body experience where a actual mermaid came to me in the dream, and we were like, I was a mermaid in the dream. She was, and she said that I was her daughter, um, and that even though that you were sent amongst the humans as a human, know that you're always my daughter. And she told me that she was sorry that I had to suffer the way I suffered, but she also explained that when I am supposed to die, she didn't say when I die, she said when I'm supposed to die. Because she was like, and then she made the comments like, oh yeah, and don't ever try to kill yourself again. I'm like, what are you talking about? And she kind of gave me this look like, I know. It was very interesting. So I'm like, okay, you got me. So she told me a bunch of stuff about myself I didn't know, and she explained that as a mermaid, those abilities carried over into this lifetime. She explained that my voice is very powerful and that I'm supposed to use it to help people. And she said the reason why I had to suffer the way I had to suffer was because I needed to experience certain moments in my life in which I could heal from in order to help other people heal from those issues as well. And I'm sorry, I don't usually get this emotional. And she said that no matter what, um, always know that I'm yours, and you're one of my own. And she explained to me that the reason why every time I go to the ocean, I could, or anywhere near water, I can hear the song, is because she is singing, and water travels through all the worlds. So as she's singing in the dimension where they come from, I can pick it up because of the traveling of vibration going through the water and the water carrying it. Um, it was just very beautiful. She even taught me this at the very end. It was just very interesting. We ended up talking about whales and skincare products. It was a very interesting out of body experience. And this happened on the 16th birthday during the night of a full moon. And she said things will get rough before they get better. Uh, let's see. When I was about getting ready to turn 17, I had another experience where I met this person hanging upside down from this golden tree. It was, I'm not sure if it was the Green Lantern or Odin himself, but he kind of like popped these weird eyeballs into my own eyes, and I woke up saying, oh. I know at the time I was complaining because I couldn't see, though I should have been more specific and should have complained that I couldn't physically see because later down the road I ended up having a whole bunch of visions and ended up knowing a shit ton about the universe, which is too long and complicated of a story. So around 18, I was visited by all these beings, and they told me that I needed to prepare because the time will almost is coming upon me that I'll need to be on my own. It's not. They said that it's not right yet, but I need to prepare in becoming more independent, more sovereign. Um, So around, I want to say 1920, I can't remember which year, what age I was. I had a vision. Oh, it was in 2020. I had this, no, 2019. I started cutting ties with people. In 2020, that's when I had my big epiphany where they showed me what I needed to do, who I needed to cut off, what will happen if when I cut them off, and everything that I decided to take to follow their advice because I didn't at first didn't believe. They introduced me as a collective of gods, goddesses, angels, demons, fairies, all kinds of spirits. And it was too many to count. Unicorns, centaurs, like it was too many. They collectively introduced their species and said that we've been with you in other lifetimes. We've worked with you in other lifetimes. Um, and they told me that I needed to cut these people. I needed to claim back my financial money. I needed to claim back um, my sovereign being. Basically, to state that this is me. No one, like, not physically sovereign. They explained that there's a difference from being physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually sovereign. Sovereign, and they said I need to focus more on the emotional, mental, and spiritual sovereignty first. To not be so dependent on other people, but be more dependent on myself. Um, And so when I did this, everything they said happened exactly like they said. It was very interesting. And they gave me a forecast of what was to come, and it was all the way till 2025 of what was going to happen in my life. Then they showed me stuff that's going to happen in the world, and I know in 2025, I saw this like silvery cloud like locusts, but it wasn't locusts. I could tell they were like these circular ships in the distance, which I believe are representing like a flock of UFOs. And then the screen went blank and like black, and then I saw a vision of everyone on planet Earth, from aliens to dragons to fairies. It was like everyone was back in one place. It was very beautiful. Though I was a woman in this particular place. So I don't know if I'll die, like physically die, or if this was showing me, like, by the time this comes into fruition, I will, like, be completely transgender and be a woman. I don't know. I really don't know. That was kind of weird for me. Um, they explained to me, um, like it was they explained to me that yeah, I had to suffer because I needed to know what certain experiences felt like in order to lead the people, not lead the people as in, oh, I'm your leader now, like I no, it's not like lead the people as in like that, but more like guide people, like those who come to me, to guide them in the right direction instead of like being lost. It's like so I can guide other people through my own experiences. And um, so 2021 was a hell of a fucking shithole. I'm sorry. Being thrown in jail, 2020 to 2021, being thrown in jail and all this bullshit wasn't the time of my life. Though I understand now why they let this happen is because they needed to get me away from this dangerous person and then isolate me so that way I can have nothing else but to just listen to them, to to connect to them on a deeper level. Um, then after that, it's now 2022. I've now officially in this apartment for since October 16th of last year. So October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, going into September. Right. October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September. Yes, like 12 months, 12 months. And wow, September would be, I thought it was October that would be the October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. That's 10. August, September. October would be the 13th month. So, yeah, I guess by the end of September, um, it'll be a full year since I've been here. Let's see. Let's see. I think that pretty much covers everything. Honestly, I started my own business. Originally, I was wanting to sell products, but I never felt like the merchant type. So I decided to switch to just focusing on using my gifts and my abilities to help other people. And I've always felt this desire. I already knew what I wanted to be. When I was young, I was like, oh, I want to be an entrepreneur. I just kind of knew that was my thing, right? I was going to be this unique person. Um, so I just came up with this brilliant wine idea. Me and Duchess and Dionysus were like talking about it. So I'm still discussing it with them, but it actually makes kind of a lot of sense what I dreamt of last night because I was with two other beings and we decided to like have basically test subjects upstairs. Like basically, of course, they volunteer to test this wine and see how it affects them. Blah blah. So I had this weird dream last night where we were like this volunteer. He signed, "Oh, if anything happens, we're not nothing happened. Basically, you're on your own. Good luck." And we were trying different concoctions with different people. So it was very interesting. It was a very interesting dream. I can say the least, but it was very interesting. It was a very interesting dream, and basically we were working on this new wine product for to give birth to into the physical. But I thought that was a very interesting dream to be dreaming about testing a new wine because we were just talking about that. So um, no, I haven't come up with a name for this. I really want to like include both. Like, should I have yet to figure it out, but it needs to be something that's theirs. Like, I would love to honor the brand after that because it was their idea and my idea to make this wine. So mostly their idea, but I digress. But so anyway, back to what I was saying. I always knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur and use my gifts to help people. As far as for how I learned to do the stuff I learned, I just learned it from spirits that either contact me through my dreams or um, through my waking hours. Things just come to me, and it's like I can't tell you like if I never once had a physical teacher. Um, I have done a few books, but that's only when they suggest, "Oh, this is the book we recommend," and I go and buy that book. So yeah. Um, if there's any questions, I'd be more than happy to ask them. But don't hesitate to leave a comment in the comment section below. This is just my life story. Um, I mean, it's not all in great detail, but I hope that you might come to understand me more and who I am and why I'm here and why I even have this channel. I want to also say a side note of why I have this channel is so I can help other people and reach out to other people on this channel. So I do hope my life story either has touched you in some way or you somehow can relate. And I want to say for those of you who are struggling right now, just know that, and life is like the push and pull of the tides. There's going to be that push of the darkness, but eventually that darkness will pull away and you'll see these beautiful seashells, which these seashells is literally representing the hidden treasures of life, hidden gems of life, and why you like basically you'll maybe have an epiphany of why you understood why you went to do stuff, or you understand now that this is what I really value. So, with that being said, um, I hope that I can reach more and more people. Uh, thank you, Luana C. Says thank you for sharing your story. Oh, thank you for at least watching and listening. Um, with that being said, I'm gonna end this live stream, and I'm gonna come back on later today. Um, I'm gonna listen to some music and probably just cleanse my house a little bit. But much love, guys. Remember, y'all are beautiful, gorgeous, amazing, awesome, very powerful warriors, shamans, and healers. Kisses.